your own way. Get out of your own way. In fact, that theme song at the top of this broadcast that was being played, I was just listening to the words and the lyrics, and I'm like, this aligns with what we're going to discuss today. In fact, if you will, please comment below. One thing that the artist kept saying in that song was, I'm waking up. I want you to comment below, I'm waking up. For those of us that are sleeping on our potential, for those of us that are sleeping on possibilities, for those of us that are sleeping on our gifts and our talents, I want you to comment below and declare this statement: I am waking up. Michelle, Miss New Life, New Seasons, New You. Great day to you. Mia, I see you also in the stream. Welcome to the broadcast. Glad to have you two powerful sisters tapped in. I'm waking up. I'm waking up. Right there. Yesterday, had the opportunity to sit down with a member of my production team. And we were simply having a discussion about the journey of being a creator, right? A creative, where you have ideas, you have gifts, you have talents, and your mission is to showcase these things to the world in hopes to inspire, in hopes to add value, in hopes to shift perspective or transfer ideas that resonate with those that are going to be watching or consuming your content, so to speak, so that you can leave a positive impression or a positive impact on their life. And we talked about the struggles that come with you being a creative, right? Where you're aiming to share what it is that lives on the inside of you, but there's always that doubt. There's often imposter syndrome. There's often fear. There's often insecurities. There's often that state where you feel inferior and you're apprehensive to share what lives on the inside of you. And I know from personal experience, right? As I've worked with many young professionals and leaders and helping them ultimately aim for new heights and level up their life, I know that this is a struggle that many people face, where you have gifts, you have talents, you have great capabilities that live on the inside of you. But in many cases, you're standing in your own way, preventing yourself from unleashing everything that makes you who you truly are, right? Now, I want to talk about how we can overcome this. And before I dive into like some strategies that we could begin to integrate into our day-to-day life, I first want to start this conversation off by saying this. To get what you really want, you first have to become who you truly are. I think that's worth repeating, okay? To get what it is that you really want, your deepest desires, the thing that you can't stop thinking about, that passion that lives on the inside of you, that big and wild and crazy dream that you have created in your mind. To get what you really want, you first and foremost have to be who you truly are. Man, if we had time, we'd break down that statement, right? Be who you truly are, meaning you have to get to the core essence of who you are, the truth of who you are. And again, as I've worked with many young professionals and leaders, and even as I've overcome some inner conflicts and experienced some personal breakthroughs, one thing that I've learned is this. You can create great change and transformation in your life when you learn new skills, when you acquire new information, when you adopt new practices, right? But what leads to a massive shift in your life isn't necessarily learning new things, right? It's not necessarily adopting new habits or new practices. But what I have found that leads to a massive shift in your life is when you unlearn the programming and the conditioning that has been stunting your growth and preventing you from making progress. Because if we're honest with ourselves, every single one of us have limiting beliefs that have been hindering us from reaching new levels. Every single one of us, we're holding on to a story that often in some cases is very disempowering, that stunts our growth, leaves us isolated in our comfort zone, afraid to step out into new territory, into unfamiliar environments. And we create this cycle simply because it's comfortable, right? It's comfortable. Comment below. We have to disrupt our comfort zone. We have to be willing to step beyond what is familiar and into something that is unfamiliar. We have to be willing to move beyond where we feel safe and secure and take the risk to become great, to do something extraordinary, to live our best life. And I believe this is what stands in the way for so many of us. Let's keep it real. Like, we often come up with excuses as to why we're not making progress. I don't have the degrees. I'm lacking the resources. I don't have the connections, right? I don't have the credentials. I'm not qualified. I'm looking at my educational background. It doesn't measure up. What I do doesn't look like what this person does. So I feel as if I'm inferior or I'm not enough. And we come up with reasons why we're not taking steps to move our lives forward. But the truth of the matter is this: all of that, it doesn't matter. But what matters the most is what you believe about yourself and what's living and at work on the inside of you. So what we have to learn to do, and this is a process, we have to learn to give ourselves permission to be free. In fact, comment below: I give myself permission to be free, right? I feel like I'm speaking to somebody this morning during this broadcast. I'm giving myself permission to be free from fear, to be free from this disempowering story that I've been telling myself, to be free from the guilt of that mistake that I made years ago, to be free from that limiting belief that has been holding me hostage, that's really been having a grip on my vision, my purpose, and my goals. I'm giving myself permission, catch this, to make a mistake, to put myself out there and it not be perfect. Because keep in mind, family, you're not a slave to perfection. You're a work in progress. And once you begin to understand that you are a work in progress, you'll liberate yourself from this need to always have to be perfect in everything that you do. Because we hold on to this perfectionist mentality, we have this fear of failure. And the fear of failure has stopped more dreams than failure ever will, simply because we're afraid to make a mistake. In many cases, we're afraid because of what other people may think, the opinions of others. But what I'm saying during this conversation is this, family: give yourself permission to be free from the expectation of others. Give yourself permission to be free from the insecurities that you've been holding on to, or in some cases that you've been fighting for, right? If we had time, we break that down, how many of us, we fight for our insecurities. We defend our insecurities. We justify why we're not moving forward because of our insecurities, right? But as it relates to this conversation, you've got to make the conscious decision and the executive choice right now in this moment that I'm going to be free. I'm giving myself permission to move my life forward. What's that well-known statement? I forget who actually quoted this term, or this quote here, so to speak. But it says that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. No, our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's not the darkness that scares us. In fact, we're comfortable in the darkness. It's our own personal light. We often ask ourselves, who am I to be extraordinary? Who am I to be beautiful? Who am I to do something exceptional? Who am I to start a business? Who am I to run a successful nonprofit? Who am I to climb the corporate ladder and make a difference in my community? Who am I to do something exceptional in the life that I'm living? No, that's not the question that you should ask yourself. It's not why me, it's why not me? Because you were created for something special. You are fearfully and wonderfully made to do something extraordinary. You're not just consuming air and oxygen just to be holding space and consume air and oxygen. No, you were created for a specific purpose. Yes, you went through some challenges. Yes, you're navigating some difficulties. Yes, you've had some setbacks and some people that have left you and don't believe in you, right? But everything that you've went through and everything that you've been through has contributed to who you are now. And it's equipped you with skills and capabilities and wisdom and perspective that gives you access to things that other people can't experience. So you have to own your journey. You have to own your story. But most importantly, you got to get out of your own way to gain access to what it is that you really want in your life. I said a lot of things during this conversation and during this broadcast. But again, I'll wrap it up by saying this. To get what it is that you really want, you first have to be who you truly are. Here's your call to action. I want you to really reflect on the areas of your life that you've been suppressing. What have you been hiding away from the world? Like, what gifts, what talents, what capabilities, what parts of yourself, what parts of your personality have you been hiding away from, right? During that conversation that I was having with a member of my production team, he was saying, hey, D1, like I watch you when you're in front of cameras, right? I watch you when you're communicating ideas, and it seems as if there's a lot of congruence, right? You speak with confidence, you speak with conviction, right? And I had to share with him, I said, listen, it wasn't always that way. It wasn't always that way. I can recall, and I shared this story with him. I'll share it with us as those of us that are tuning in. I can recall, family, like when I initially started my business way back in 2013, I knew that the direction of content consumption was aiming towards video, right? And I didn't necessarily know how to speak in front of a camera, right? How to communicate my ideas in a way that was digestible. But I knew this is what I needed to do to get my message out there. So what did I do? I set up shop inside of our garage, and I put up a tripod and a camera. And I can recall, y'all, like, here's an idea that I want to share. And I would hit the record button, and it would blow your mind how long it would take me to record a 3-minute video. Comment below, like, estimate how long did you think it would take D1 to record a 3-minute video, right? 3 minutes, right? I'm recording something. I see the comments coming in, right? Family, believe it or not, for a 3-minute video, in some cases, it would take me 5 to 6 hours to film and record a 3-minute video. Why is that? J. Mitch, I see you in the building. I'm communicating ideas, and I'm thinking, okay, how are people going to receive this? Am I grammatically correct? How's my posture? Am I moving my hands too much, right? Am I speaking intelligently, right? Am I using the right phrases? Am I using the right words? Is the meaning of this word and the true representation in the way that I conveyed it and communicated? All of these things are running in the back of my mind, so I'm stumbling over my words because, in other words, I wasn't being me. I wasn't being my true, authentic self. I wasn't giving myself permission to be me. And like I shared with my team member yesterday, it took me some time to gain an understanding around this. But once I did, I made the conscious decision, you know what? I'm no longer going to live according to the expectation or the opinions of others. I'm no longer going to allow my insecurities to override my passion and my vision. But instead, what I'm going to do, I give myself permission to be free. And it was in that moment, family, that everything shifted. You guys can recall on Periscope, when I would go live, I'm speaking from my heart. I'm being me. Yes, I may stumble over some words from time to time. I may say some things that are grammatically incorrect, right, as I'm doing what needs to get did. But at the end of the day, what was happening was I was allowing myself to be authentic. And it's through your authenticity that you connect with others. It's through your authenticity that you can leave an impact on those that are surrounding you, that are consuming what it is that you are creating. What are you saying, D1? What I'm saying is this. When you allow yourself permission, like you give yourself permission to be you, to be free, unapologetically, that's when you'll experience a shift in your life. And in fact, this is when doors of opportunities will begin to open up before you, because you're not fighting to be something that you're not. But instead, what you're doing is you're allowing things to flow as you be who you truly are. And remember, to get what you really want, that deepest desire, you first got to be who you truly are. If you slid into this broadcast and I was unable to give you a shout out, be sure to comment below. And if, in fact, this is your first time, or maybe your first time in a long time, be sure to comment below with a number 1 in the chat, and then place your first name afterward. Again, put a number 1 in the chat and then place your first name afterward. I'm hoping that somebody somewhere found some value during today's conversation. I'm hitting buttons all across the board. My apologies, y'all. Got different sounds coming through your speakers. But again, I'm hoping that somebody somewhere found some value during this conversation and discussion, whether you're watching this live or catching this on the replay. If in fact you did, put some fist up in the comments below. Let your boy know you was picking up what your boy was putting down during this broadcast. Yes, Mia, you gotta be authentic. J Mitch, yeah, bro. As a photographer and videographer that sits in front of the camera at times and making critiques of the work, it takes time and patience. God bless you, brother. Likewise, for sure. Michelle, for sure. It's been a while. Hoping all has been well with you. Absolutely, Angel. Appreciate you. Got my brother from another mother in the building tonight. If you know, you know. Salute to you, Dr. G Hightower. Hope all is well with you, my brother. Family, do yourself a favor. If you are interested in improving your relationships, I'm not just talking about your relationship with your significant other. We have relationships with everything, right? You got a relationship with your kids, a relationship with your parents, relationship with your coworkers, relationship with food. You got a relationship with money. You even got a relationship with yourself. My brother speaks specifically on relationships, and I promise you, you'll gain a lot of value from consuming his content. So be sure to tap into Dr. G Hightower. The love nuggets always, for sure, my brother. Hope all is well with you. Again, glad to have you tapped in live on Kathy. Hope all is well with you and the fam, you and Uncle Kenny. Little Kenny as well. Bruce Ramsey, Oregon. Amelia is in the tapped in here in the stream as well. Great day to the two of you. Hope all is well. Tina, message received for sure. Latoya, my Naptown sis. Great day to you. Love what I heard. I will catch the replay. Absolutely. For sure. Let me say this, family. Here's the call to action, right? Again, what I want you to do is consider what you're suppressing, what you're running away from, what you're hiding away from. And at some point in time during this week, give yourself permission to release it. And you don't just release it by simply saying, hey, I release it. No, you release it by doing the very thing that that voice in your head tells you not to do, right? By not speaking up, ultimately what you're doing is you're suppressing your message, your gifts, and your tongue. And keep in mind, you got words that can change a nation, so don't bite your tongue. By not stepping boldly into that vision because of your insecurities, what you're doing is you're allowing your insecurities to rule and dominate your life when your purpose and your vision should take on that authority and that position. So what I'm saying during this conversation is ultimately, let's make some power moves. Yes, keep in mind, it's gonna be uncomfortable, right? but the last time I checked, family, nothing amazing has ever come from you being in your comfort zone. In fact, you're already uncomfortable, but ultimately, you're just feeling comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, right? So you're comfortably dissatisfied. So what I challenge you to do is to step boldly to where you want to be. Move beyond that comfort zone this week. And as you do this, what will begin to happen is you develop courage. And the more courage you develop, you start acquiring more confidence because you do it consistently, right? It took me some time to fully liberate myself from this thought pattern that, hey, my words don't carry value, or nobody's going to listen to you, or nobody's going to receive what it is that you want to communicate, right? It takes time. But nonetheless, what helps you overcome that is consistently taking steps towards what makes you come alive in life. That's what we got to focus on, right? Focus on what makes you come alive, what brings you excitement, what fills you with enthusiasm. Allow that to dominate your thought pattern, right? Allow that to run rampant in your mind, not your fears, not your insecurities, not your doubts, not your past trauma, not your past mistakes. Liberate yourself from those things. Don't allow those things to take real estate in your mind. Because keep in mind, family, what you focus on the most in your mind will eventually unfold in your life. So I challenge you this week again, take action on releasing those things that have been holding you back. Unlearn that conditioning and that programming. And what helps you unlearn it is simply by you taking action. Again, I said a lot of things during this conversation. I'm hoping that somebody found value. As we wrap this thing up, if we've yet to connect on other platforms, what are we waiting for, family? At D1 Gibson is my handle. That includes Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm also on LinkedIn if you're on that platform. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more long form content on that platform. So be sure to subscribe. That's youtube.com/David Gibson. If you're watching this on YouTube now, please hit that like button. It goes a long way. Then also, elevationisAmust.com. Take advantage of all the free resources that are available on the website. Some guides, ebooks, different PDFs that you can download for the free 99 family. It doesn't cost you a dime, just your attention and willingness to invest in yourself by doing some things that help you expand your capabilities and shift your mindset. And again, all of those things are available at elevationisAmust.com. With that being said, let's wrap this thing up. Let me get myself back on the screen. Nicole Turner, my sister, great day to you. Stay safe and healthy out there. Likewise, I got to connect with you soon. I'll be in touch. But with that being said, family, as we wrap up today's conversation, Ms. Valencia, I see you in the building as well. Great day to you. Glad you found value in the conversation. Be powerful. Remember that it lives on the inside of you. You just got to activate it. But again, family, as we wrap this thing up, today is Monday. It's a great day to be alive. In fact, I want you to say that out loud with your boy. It's a great day to be alive. Not just a good day. Remember, good is just average. You were created and designed to be better than just good, right? In fact, after the heavens and the earth were made, I'm talking about the mountains, the seas, the oceans, all the amazing monuments that the earth presents, right? Like the Grand Canyon and all these amazing things that when we witnessed them, we're blown away. When those things were made, it was called and labeled good. But when we were created, we were labeled very good. In other words, you're extraordinary. You're exceptional. You're phenomenal. So in fact, today, have a phenomenal day, because that's the power that's at work on the inside of you. Now, if you find yourself in a difficult situation or a challenging experience, just remember, it's only temporary. So don't make a permanent decision that's based upon a temporary circumstance. Stay focused, stay solid, and keep persisting until you succeed. And if nobody else tells you that they love you today, remember, your brother from another mother, D1 Gibson, has nothing but love for each and every single one of you. We'll be back at it next week, family, Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But in the meantime, my wish and my hope for everybody that's catching this live and everybody that watches this on the replay is that you are effective, be successful, live with some passion, and most importantly, joining with your boy, if you will, please. 3 pounds to your chest. 1, 2, 3. Be powerful. I love each and every single one of you. Have a phenomenal week. Peace.
I can see my shot is here, so now I'm gonna take it. Gotta get up, get out, time to stand up, get loud, time to rise up off the floor. And I'm stronger than ever now, can't hold me down no more. I'm waking up, 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 I'm waking up. So I'ma do it right now, yeah, I'ma do it right now. I ain't giving up.